All right. Hello, Virgo. So you are the last sign that I'm doing this bonus reading for, and hopefully you have viewed the primary video about the energy for November 16th and this week. And remember, the fourth house, the seventh house, and the 11th house are the major players this month. When we start out, again, I tell everyone the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are traveling together. And that is starting out for you in the sixth house. That is your house of partially money. It is your house of health, right? It is your house of competition, of debt. So it's highlighting that house and highlighting a need to look into it so that it doesn't blow up in chaos, right? Because that energy together can have a little bit of chaos, right? That could be something as simple as a bank that you bank at has a someone robs it or some type of computer glitch happens and they don't have your information correctly and so you end up with bounced checks or you don't have access to your money, right? So it can be chaos in different areas. Um, and also it could be it's the house of health, so it can be about your diet. Your diet could you could be on a very specific diet because of very specific health concerns, and this week you just blow that all to hell, right? But you gotta get back on it because then you can have health consequences because of not following whatever regimen you were in. Again, note that Mars and the Sun are fiery type energies that require movement. Mercury is a playful type energy that pretty much will go with whatever the energy is around it. And the energy that's around Mercury is Venus, the Moon, Sun, Mars, right? And Mercury and Venus are like the children. The Sun and the Moon are like the parents. And what do Mercury and Venus like to do? They like to avoid whatever the parents want them to do. So it's not necessarily the best situation, right? Mars is like the uncle. In Venus' case, it's the wrong uncle. But I digress, right? So Mercury is pretty much going along with what's happening. So it means you have to be detail oriented. Mercury is retrograde. And so you have to go back and look at things. And that's where I'm saying if you had a situation where you stop following a diet, you have to return to that diet. If you had a situation where you all of a sudden stop doing the exercise routine, you have to return to the exercise routine. If you have a situation where you thought something was resolved regarding an enemy or a competitor at work, in business, or whatever, you have to revisit it because it may not be resolved. The Jupiter is in your second house with your money, everyday money. So is expanding. That money may be expanding, but this energy could kind of hold it up a little bit because your debt could also be expanding for other reasons. Okay. So let's go look at, and this is going to be just a quick reading and let you know about the energies that are impacting you the most. But as with everyone, we have this energy that's taking place at home. The someone in the family, if it's not you, one of the other people from the other readings could have some health challenges that requires your assistance. If it is not you having the health challenges, again, lots of new relationship starts this week. That Venus is very active. But Venus is also about loving life and loving what you're doing, loving your home, loving your job, loving your career. It depends on where it's falling, right? Loving your family, reconnecting with your siblings as it fell into the third house, loving your hobbies, reconnecting with some hobbies that you used to do and enjoying them, and transitioning some of them into a small business that is also there on the 18th. There's lots of energy in the 12th house. Of course, I've already mentioned it. There's a lot of energy. The death energy is loss, letting go, transforming things, not necessarily physical death all the time, although it could be a physical death. And again, there's some things that you have to work on. It's a week for being diligent in every aspect. And then when you get to the 19th, you're going to find yourself spread thin. That is also a day where someone could die by a car accident that you are aware of, that like in your world, the 19th. I won't give all the individual death news, just know that it's possible almost every day this week. That energy is there. Your career is a focus as well. The ninth house, that moon and Venus is a focus because it travels around that house a lot, requiring balance. And remember, the ninth house is not only the luck, right? But it's how you get the luck. So you may get the luck through previous things that you've done regarding education or investments or your friends or someone owed you money or you go someplace and you're like the 100th person to purchase something and you get something or you purchase a piece of art or you sold a piece of art. It is how you make the money. You could also get the money from dancing or singing that you weren't expecting, a new hobby. So you have some financial luck coming your way. There is a great focus on health for everybody, but especially you on the 19th later in the evening with that same energy coming back by, as well as the children being impacted, the mother being impacted by that same energy. There's a chance for, again, that hospitalization energy, surgery energy, recovery, face, and the feet. Somebody having an issue with their feet, right foot, maybe. And put your ego in check. We understand that you can write anything and you're magnificent with writing things, but don't let it go to your head. There's a highlight of the third house of communication and how you communicate with people. Communicate from a place of a loving, nurturing energy, and you will have more success. Because if not, there's just that crazy, wacky energy with others, and that could cause chaos with your communication, whether it's written, and actually it is the written communication because it's showing up in the in the ethers, so it's your written communication that could cause you problems this week. So if you write an email, if you send a text, maybe you delete it and rewrite it. Wordsmith it a little bit. Okay. You do have the ability to reach your goals because of the fact that that activity, the action energy is there. But just like Gemini, you need to go back and check the details. Mars and Sun and all of that activity causes so much movement. But then when Mars and the Sun and the Moon get together, which happens on the 20th, it brings a little, like a little calming force, right? So it's a little bit more direction and a little bit more of that, okay, the family's headed, the mom steering us in the right direction. And you can see that with your relationships after the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, a little bit more of a cooler head in the partnerships. And then when that Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury energy is going to be riding together, it'll ride together through the 21st. And so every house that it touch, so it's going to bring a little bit of calmness away from all of the chaos that has been happening. and more insight into why it is happening. I haven't been going into the whole political thing because I've made enough videos where you guys know what's happening with that. So just know every day there's a new political story, there's a new political thing every day. Um, and I say that as we get to the 21st, and there's also this energy of not exactly being satisfied with how your life is going when it comes to your job and your home life. So this is the time for you to evaluate whether or not you need to move, relocate physically, or just change careers, or just, leave the people you love for a weekend and, recover, just gets reset. So you have to make a decision as to what type of break you need from them. Okay. So that's mainly the energy for you, and a little bit more of this other energy here of serving others. It is a good time for you to try to serve other people and not just serve yourself, to show that they matter to you. Okay. All right. Take care.